Dexter Fowler, you are a National League champion. 71 years they've waited for this pennant. What are you feeling right now?
I think we've been waiting too. Last year we thought we were going to get it done. We didn't. I think the boys came in here with some fire.
I have to admit, I go back to spring training when you showed up on the scene out of nowhere, and I think of what your role has been on this team, where this team would be. I'm not sure, and I mean this with all honesty, that we'd be standing here without you. You came back and you turned out a bigger deal somewhere else to be part of this.
You know what? It's about winning. It's about winning at the end of the day, and that's what you want to do. People wait their lifetimes. I know one of my mentors, he played a long time, and he never won a championship. He said that's the only thing he didn't do. And I'm happy to go out here, and when you get the chance, you got to take it.
Before we let you go, it's on to Cleveland for a World Series, and that was the ultimate goal for this team. But when you came into the clubhouse tonight to get ready, did you feel in the air tonight's going to happen? It was a special night.
I did. I felt it last night when I was sleeping. My wife was like, "You didn't sleep too well, did you?" I said, "Baby, I'm ready." And then I'm walking in here, and you look at all the boys, and in their eyes, they had a different little fire.
Jake,
thank you for your time.
Thank you, man.
God bless.
Thank you, Dexter. We appreciate it. Congratulations, big guy. Wow, what a moment for you and for this organization. Tell us about it. It's been a lot of fun.
It's look at all these people that are still here. It's special for, millions of fans all across the country. This is it's incredible, and to be a part of the team that gets back to the World Series for this organization means a lot. It really does.
Jake, you get traded over here, and this team was not ready to win yet, and now it's here. You reflect on the last 3 years. What are your thoughts?
Well, I knew when I got here that we were going to be in a position soon to do something like this. The growth and development from the young players, and I've said it all year, Addison Russell, Javier Baez, Wilson Contreras, Kyle Hendricks, and to see Kyle do what he did tonight, he's pitching beyond his years. This guy really has it figured out, and he's not just some guy who had a good year. This guy's going to pitch well at a high level for a long time, and I love him to death, and I just look forward to being a teammate of his for a while.
Jake, this team is incredibly talented. There's no doubt about it. Some of the best talent in the game is here in Chicago on the north side. But I got to tell you, you guys have shouldered the responsibility of winning a National League championship for an organization that hadn't done it in an awful long time. With that comes immense pressure, a tenacity from the crowd. Even from the fans. How did you guys handle that pressure? You guys, I got to admit, man, I thought there would be a lot of nervous energy tonight, but there really wasn't.
Well, you could see it. You could kind of see it in Javi early in the game. This guy he wants to make every play. When the ball's hit to him, it's almost a sure out. But you could see him kind of pressing early. Is that bad? He's swinging at some balls, maybe out of the zone. But this guy, he's got so much talent. He can hit pitches like that, and he can feel any ball hit to him. But we were able to settle in, and getting 2 out off of Kershaw in the first inning was huge. It kind of set the tone for us, and we had Kyle come out and really, I think he faced the minimum through 6 or 7 innings, and that's pretty tough to do.
Are you ready to pitch in a World Series?
Absolutely. You dream about it even now. I dreamed about it as a kid, and you still do. And it's almost, we're so close to making that a reality a few days ago, and now it's here, and to have that opportunity and to do it with these guys, we're as close as we are for a reason. We care about each other, and that translates on the field. And 4 wins away from a title for this organization in this city means a lot to us.
Well, and what you've turned this organization to, I think really in the last couple of years, I know it's been a work in progress, but the fact that you guys get along so well, it is really amazing. A lot of baseball teams, in fact, most baseball teams don't seem to get along as well as you guys do.
Well, if you look at it realistically, it's a job like anything else.
Right.
You have your coworkers. You're not gonna be best friends with everybody, but
right.
To genuinely care about the guys you play with day in, day out means a lot. And we've been able to develop a lot of good relationships because of that respect for each other, and know that it's going to take 25 guys to win a championship, and we're all on the same page.
All right, we hope we are interviewing you 4 wins from now. God bless and thank you.
Good, boys.
All the
Thanks,
best.
Jake.
Congratulations.
All the best. Congratulations.
There you go. Jake Arrieta. so the Chicago Cubs are going to the World Series, and the thing we do to start every postgame show we haven't done yet.
Oh, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Nice. Blow it up, see? I just destroyed your fist. I did.
What's wrong with you, man? Hey, what's wrong with you? You crazy? Give me another one.
The Chicago Cubs are going to the World Series for the first time in 71 years.
Did you like my trick?
Pretty amazing. That was pretty good.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
I said to him, you're not going to be able to pull that off. He goes, I played in the World Series. I'll be able to pull that off.
Got it.
Absolutely right. So, anyway, the Chicago Cubs are going to the World Series the first time in 71 years, and we will be in Cleveland. Our crew is now destroying all of the equipment here. Everybody.
Apparently, the champagne is free-flowing in the...
Yeah, our crew is drinking champagne, and Ryan McGuffey doesn't even have his ID to be drinking champagne yet. Anyway, we'll be in Cleveland, and it will be a lot of fun to be around that scene, but it's a really good Indians team.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it.
Thanks, Luke. A really good Indians team.
Yeah, they are. And, you know, the game planning will start tomorrow. They'll start getting ready for this, but you're right. They're a different dynamic, I think, than anything the Cubs have really seen this year. So I really do think preparation is going to be key to this the next 48 hours as they start to prepare for it. I mean, this is an amazing run that the Indians have been on. They're a team that had an incredible starting rotation all season long. They got hit with some injuries. You know, they were down to their ace in Corey Kluber, and the nuts and bolts of it, really, when you think about what was left of that rotation. They got Salazar maybe coming back. I didn't see an update again today. They have a dominant bullpen. They don't hit for a ton of power, but they run the bases as well as anybody in baseball. They put pressure on you in different ways, so it's going to be a different type of challenge.
It is, and you better be ready to handle them, the pressure that they will put on your defense.
No, they're going to bunt, they're going to run, they're going to hit and run, they're going to do all sorts of different things. They can defend as well, too. They're a very good defensive team. They have some star players. Francisco Lindor, their starting shortstop, one of the best in the game right now. They've got Mike Napoli. He's a veteran. He's been hitting for a ton of power this year. This is a good team. They really are. I know that it's interesting. I kind of compared them to you. I told you when the playoffs started, because of the injuries that they took on, that this Indians team, I'm not sure, was getting as much respect as it should. Now they find themselves in the World Series, really proving everybody wrong. It's almost a tale of two different teams, where everybody expected the Cubs to be there. Not everybody expected the Indians.
All right, we've got to take a timeout. They're getting ready to turn all the lights off on us here at Wrigley. But we've got more to do. We'll be right back.
Hey, Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win.
Make sure he's in bed by 8.
Sometimes I get scared.
Scared of what, Danny?
The things I can't see.
Got a weird feeling. Almost forgot. In case anything happens.
Dad, I got this.
You know the feeling. The rush of every roll, every flip, sip, bite, note, and night. You know the feeling. Get it at Ameristar.
Look at it, lads. New York City. Just doesn't get any better than this.
Actually it does. With Grubhub, you can get the best foods delivered anywhere.
Gluten-free pad thai here for Seamus.
I am Seamus.
Gluten-free?
Yeah. Can't even taste the difference. Oh, you gotta lock up that front tire.
I'm Dan Fields of the Fields Auto Group. We've prepared a Joe Madden Signature Edition vehicle. It will be raffled off at the end of the season, with the proceeds going to many of Joe's favorite charities.
But not before I have the pleasure of driving it to and from the ballpark. Thank you, Dan, and everyone at Fields Auto Group for this special vehicle and for making this all possible.
For official raffle rules and complete details on how you can win this Joe Madden signature vehicle, go to fieldsauto.com.
It is an honor for Fields Auto Group to help good causes like Cubs Charities and Misericordia. Fields matters because you matter.
A lot of things happened today, and they were all great, and they were all thrilling, and they were all dramatic. Too bad we couldn't have had a victory that meant a pennant, but that will come. sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series, and maybe sooner than we think.
Well, Harry, it wasn't quite as soon as we all hoped, but the Cubs are going to the World Series. Time for our Clear Choice Dental Implant Center's play of the game, and you know what that is. That would be the last out that clinches the National League pennant.
Yeah, no surprise there. What an incredible performance. I think it kind of sums up everything that this game really was. I mean, I think the Kyle Hendricks and the burden that was thrown upon him in this game, what he shouldered this year as being the 2 ERA guy, the guy who's gone out there and just kind of gotten it done time and time again. I still think that there was this element of doubt that he somehow was the underdog with this matchup with Clayton Kershaw tonight, and he goes out there and again just proves everybody wrong. To Dexter Fowler, you go, we go, getting us going. No surprise there. Obviously the last out, the biggest part of all of this, so that we can watch this championship unfold here, the National League one. But as you said, work still to be done. But again, another step in the right direction.
The roar that was here at Wrigley when that final out was recorded with Aroldis Chapman on the mound, and all of a sudden it settled in. Everyone was anticipating it as you and I made our way down from where we were sitting in the second deck to get down to the clubhouse, to get to the field. Everyone was ready. They were high-fiving, and everyone, we're going to the World Series. But the game wasn't over yet.
Right.
When that game ended and people actually looked around, you saw people that were literally stunned.
Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing accomplishment. It's funny because I felt like the moment was coming today. There's no doubt about it. I knew that this team was going to win, Cappy. I really did. I thought today was the day they're going to get to see Kershaw again. They're going to have a different approach. They're going to go the other way. They're going to jump on early fastballs. That all happened. But I was concerned with the nervous energy that I think we all probably felt a little bit of. They just went out there and made it go away. I mean, it's amazing. Well, but you realize that the players are the ones responsible for taking it out of the fan base. I mean, that's what I give them credit for. You know, this morning I was challenging everybody to be encouraged, to be there. Don't get down on these. If there's something bad that happens in the game, don't freak out. You know, these guys have battled back all season long. That's what their approach has been. We need to watch what they're doing and maintain that same approach. You know, they come out and what do? They just set everybody at ease. Dexter leads off with a hit, and boom, we got a run, and we get another run, and it's like we got a lead. And what's Kyle do? Gives up a base hit, gets an out, a pitch later, and guess what after that? Boop. Zeros. Nothing but zeros.
Absolutely.
Inning after inning after inning.
Magnificent. And bringing Aroldis Chapman in the eighth, I think was Joe Maddon's way of saying, I'm going to ask you to do that in the World Series. You haven't done it successfully.
That's right.
You're going to do it tonight.
Hey, I told you that. I sat there and I said, listen, there's a little bit of a message being delivered. I know it seems like an odd place. It would be Game 6 of the National League Championship Series, but they need Aroldis Chapman to be dynamic, to be great, to kind of represent what Andrew Miller and Kenley Jansen, meant for the Dodgers, just as two examples. Aroldis Chapman can be that, and you're right. We talked about it a little bit in the pregame. There's been some real vulnerability there. You asked me if I was concerned. I was concerned. I needed to see what we saw tonight. That's the Aroldis Chapman that can go into a ball game and get some outs.
All right, time for the Wrigleyville winning box score. They've been a great partner of ours at CSN. And, I mean, there's productivity, Holly, all throughout that lineup. You had Addison Russell with a big double, Rizzo a home run and a double. Dexter Fowler got things started right away in the first inning. Chris Bryant comes through with the big hit. Wilson Contreras hits a home run. I mean, there's so many heroes.
Yeah, there really were. I was just kind of disappointed in Kyle Hendricks at bats tonight. He didn't really seem to have his act together, just not his best efforts. Man, the pitchers have been hitting all year. Come on, Kyle, you can do better than that. No, I'm just messing. You took care of business on the mound. The lineup was fantastic. Listen, Dexter set the table. He was rolling, got everybody moving in the right direction. I knew that there would be, we talk about this. You and I, this is an interesting word we talk about all the time in the world of baseball, momentum. But what the Cubs did the last 2 days, where the offense erupted, where they got back on the fastball, where they were the ones dictating the tempo of the at-bat, I absolutely knew without a shadow of a doubt that they were going to come out tonight and they were going to put it on Clayton Kershaw just a little bit. I didn't expect him to get as many runs, but I knew that the at-bats were going to be way better tonight. I knew that they were going to be aggressive early in the count, that if they got a few fastballs, it could make some things happen, and they did. They eliminated a pitch. He lost his curveball, couldn't throw it for a strike, stayed on the fastball, stayed on the slider, and put together one great at-bat after another.
All right, we've got to take a timeout. We'll come back. We've got more business to do. We're on the field at Wrigley. The Cubs are going to the World Series. National League champs. Be right back.
In Chicago, some things just go together, like front porches and blue W's, bricks and ivy, Waveland Avenue and souvenirs, Jake and State Farm. Like home and auto insurance with State Farm, they just go together, and they save you time and money. Just another way we're here to help life go right. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
With a curved ultra-high-definition screen, Samsung's SUHD TVs give you a brighter picture and the most brilliant colors for the best viewing experience. It's Samsung's best TV, and it's here at Apt Electronics, available in screen sizes from 48 to 88 inches. Come see it today. Guaranteed low prices, unbeatable selection, and free local delivery. Apt, pleasing people since 1936.
It is I, Count Babila, and my girlfriends, here to save you big money on a new Toyota. Hurry in now to Oak Brook Toyota.
During our sales spectacular, lease a 2017 Toyota Camry for only $189 a month or get 0% financing.
Bob Rohrman.
Bob Rohrman's Oak Brook Toyota in Westmont, only 5 minutes west of the Tri-State on Ogden Avenue.
You just used your phone to binge watch an entire season of your favorite show. Your family's wireless data plan is on the brink. It's time to take extreme measures. Or you could get the shows you love data-free. Introducing Data-Free TV, only from AT&T. Now you can watch DirecTV on your devices anywhere, without using your data. Switch to AT&T Wireless and stream DirecTV data-free.
Get up!
What time is it?
I think I know what it's time for.
If your family is complete, the safest and most effective form of birth control is a vasectomy. Call today for a same-day consultation and procedure in one of our 3 state-of-the-art facilities.
Daddy, how are babies made?
I can tell you how they're not made.
Advanced Urology Associates. Safe, simple, and effective.
All right, time for our UPS store taking care of business. Player of the game. This is easy. It's number 28, Kyle Hendricks, the Cubs' outstanding starting pitcher, who was magnificent tonight as he shut down the Los Angeles Dodgers. His offense supported him with 5 runs, but he was spectacular.
Yeah, he did the number 28 just perfect.
Who else wore that number?
You know who wore that number. That's right.
Henry Cotto when I was a kid.
Hey, whatever makes you happy. We all know it was Holly time, baby. Yeah, that a boy, Kyle. Now, again, brilliant. You talk about the change of speed. You saw it again tonight. It was interesting. I got you. They did slow motion on that changeup, right? I think it was to left-hander. I think it was Grandal, and I said, check out the rotation of this ball as it just kind of fades and fades and explodes off the plate at the exact same time. You watch these guys aggressively go at pitches that they're going to make bad contact with. I thought actually Clayton Kershaw, there was an incredible quote coming into tonight's ballgame, and he described him. He compared him to Greg Maddux, but he said it's almost like he's even better than Maddux because he's got the 3 pitches, he throws them at any time, and he's always throwing them for strikes, but nobody hits them. There's never like that hard contact against him, and it's funny, we just watched that ball game. He went out there and did it once again. There was not hard contact tonight.
The interesting at bats for me were Corey Seager, who's an elite player, one of the top 10 talents in our game, and Kyle kept throwing that changeup, and he would get him off the corner, and he struck him out multiple times, and he was just sensational.
Well, we talk about it a lot of times in terms of, what do pitchers make us feel? That's how hitters talk to each other about, when they give scouting reports to other teammates or other players, buddies around the game. You say, well, what does this guy do to you? Most guys you say, oh, well, this guy throws 95 and he's really uncomfortable. Kyle is like that, we would say he's the comfortable 0 for 4, and he's mastered that. You know what I mean by comfortable? You go up there and you're like, you make contact 4 times, and you're like, yeah, but I went 0 for 4 again.
You don't feel overmatched.
You don't, because he doesn't blow you away, and that's the reality. But here's the thing.
But he gets you out.
and he makes you look foolish a lot because that changeup will break your elbow, if you know what I mean. And it's exactly what he's become. It's amazing how he's ascended in this rotation. Our conversation earlier this year, where he was, what he was supposed to do, getting skipped. I mean, think about it. He missed a couple starts. Like, he didn't get his full 32 starts this year because he was the guy that was getting skipped over on days off early in the season. He just started Game 6 of the NLCS.
And threw a shutout.
Right. I mean, you understand. You're following along with me, right? He's the guy in the early part of the year when you've got an extra day off, but you want to get your rotation rolling. You skip the 5th starter. He just won this game. I mean, the biggest game of his life. I mean, it's amazing when you think what he's accomplished this year.
All right, let's take a look at some tweets that have been rolling in and get you caught up on some of those. The Chicago White Sox, congrats to the NL champs. That's a class act from the Chicago White Sox.
If they mean it. No, I'm just kidding. I think they do. It is really a class act, no doubt about it.
Blackhawks also tweeting congratulations to the Chicago Cubs. And they're Scottie Pippen, Game 6, fly the W. He also sang out here. But I think it's great to see, the other teams in town, but especially the White Sox. That's a class act.
Oh, it is, no doubt about it.
Because there's a great rivalry there. But when the Sox won, the Cubs did it, and the Sox right back. Thought that was first class.
You share the city. I mean, that's it. Certainly that. I know there's a couple people I was telling, kind of tweeted out a tweet this morning about everybody getting together and rallying around it in the city and everything. And people reminded me, there's 2 teams in this town, but we're behind you. And I thought it was really cool. A couple people reached out and said, I'm a White Sox fan, all true and true. I'm not going to root for you, but I'm happy for you, and that's what they said.
Also, John Cusack is out there having a good old time in our city. We saw Eddie Vedder down here. Jim Belushi was on the field. And shout out to Bill Plaschke from the LA Times. You might want to not write a column for a few days, buddy.
Yeah, Urias might want to buy a plane ticket home.
Yeah, he tweeted during the game, hey, can we send Urias right now to Cleveland or in the morning to get him ready for his Game 1 start? Oh, man. Wasn't your best look tonight, Mr. Plaschke? Just letting you know, buddy. So, good stuff to see. The Cubs are going to have a lot of fun with this.
Well, they should. They've earned it. And I think this is the team. The team, they seem to take on every challenge. I don't think that, think back to last year where, they looked so convincing against the Cardinals. And then they played the Mets, and it was almost like we were watching a little bit of a different team, maybe a little bit of immaturity, slightly. I don't think we're going to see a different team this time, Cap. I mean, we're taking another step already, but here we are going to the World Series against the Cleveland Indians. I don't think that step exists any longer. It's like learning from your mistakes, so to speak. And the team that you saw, against the Mets looked a little bit nervous, a little overmatched, overwhelmed at times. I don't think you're going to see that. That group that I just spoke to tonight is as confident and ready to go as any team I've ever seen. They've just won the National League, and they're on their way to the World Series. I think you're going to see this team, this confident team, in the World Series playing that kind of ball.
Exceptionally focused, and they'll have an exceptional challenge. The Cleveland Indians are legit. They've got an elite manager in Terry Francona, who won twice with the Boston Red Sox. It's going to be a real great World Series.
I expect it to be, and it's going to be a bit of a challenge. So, I mean, again, enjoy the night, but again, get focused. All of us get focused for what will probably be an intense World Series.
All right, we got a little bit more to do. We'll come right back, taking a timeout. Be right back on CSN.
Cubs Postgame Live is presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all.
Make sure he's in bed by 8.
Sometimes I get scared.
Scared of what, Danny?
The things I can't see.
Got a weird feeling. Almost forgot. In case anything happens.
Dad, I got this.
Some things are simply impossible to ignore. The strikingly designed Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid, the SUV that dares to go beyond utility. Lease the 2016 NX Turbo with zero due at signing for $429 a month for 36 months. See your Lexus dealer.
With a curved ultra-high-definition screen, Samsung's SUHD TVs give you a brighter picture and the most brilliant colors for the best viewing experience. It's Samsung's best TV, and it's here at Apt Electronics. Available in screen sizes from 48 to 88 inches. Come see it today. Guaranteed low prices, unbeatable selection, and free local delivery. Apt. Pleasing people since 1936.
You know the feeling. The rush of every roll, every flip, sip, bite, note, and night. You know the feeling. Get it at Ameristar.
Time for our Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. Who's hot and who's not? NOT for the World Series opponent, the Cleveland Indians. Hot? How about Indians shortstop Francisco Lindor hitting .323 with a pair of home runs, 4 RBIs, and a .924 OPS this postseason? Who's not? Local product, Jason Kipnis from Glenbrook North, hitting only a .167, 5 strikeouts, and a .219 OBP. Earlier on the field, Kyle Hendricks, and a really cool moment with his dad, John, who joined us a while ago on our post-game show. And, of course, those two are exceptionally close. And Kyle said, my dad was a golf pro. They kind of pushed him toward golf. He's like, I like baseball better. It worked out.
Oh, it most definitely worked out. And I think that's what's so amazing about this journey is that they both have connected. I mean, just even listening to him talk about his son and how they connected their two worlds, the focus and the text messages that he sends him to kind of keep him in line. He talks about the mechanics because we know Kyle. He is very much that way. I mean, very mechanical, driven to make his pitches and certainly repeating his mechanics.
All right, time for our Keys recap brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. First one was You Go, We Go.
Yeah, well, talking a little Dexter Fowler, he definitely did his job tonight. There's no doubt about it. I thought he would be big. He had numbers against Clayton Kershaw coming into tonight, certainly better than everybody else on this Cubs team. But again, he is the You Go, We Go guy, as Joe Madden often says. When he gets things rolling, we seem to respond, and he did again tonight. Dexter Fowler got things moving. Second at bat comes through with an RBI base hit. Moving and shaking. Dexter Fowler, big part of everything that happened tonight, and certainly got everybody moving in the right direction. Key number 2, that early offense.
Early game aggressiveness,
right? Wanted to see that. We did see that. Again, remember, think back to the game number 2 when Clayton Kershaw absolutely dominated this Cubs lineup. He was getting ahead of hitters and getting nastier as the game went on. The Cubs tonight, they were jumping on first pitch fastballs. They were jumping on that first hittable fastball that they got. Then they eliminated the curveball because Clayton Kershaw could not throw it for a strike. They became that much more dangerous. And here's the other thing that really stood out to me, Cappy, that was so impressive, the willingness to go the other way. Chris Bryant shoots a ball into the corner. Dexter Fowler shoots a ball into the corner. I mean, the at-bats were staying on balls. He was making pitches on the outside part of the plate with fastballs, but they were going the other way. So there was some really, really good hitting early on in this ball game, no doubt about it. And the last one was getting down to those matchups, I believe, in the bullpen, because I think that
if you say so.
Well, we had to cross the bridge. I mean, that was the idea. We knew exactly what Clayton Kershaw was going to be tonight, or what we thought he was going to be, but the bridge was going to be to Kenley Jansen. We did see that, but again, we had the lead. That was the most important thing. I thought there might be a few more guys involved out of our bullpen. Kyle Hendricks was absolutely brilliant, but great to see Aroldis Chapman, and I guess that's what we were talking about. As you get to Game 6 and 7, these games, and we'll maybe see this in the World Series, it becomes more about your starters and more about your closers, and those guys in the middle, they sometimes get pinched a little bit more. They're not used as much, but they can become valuable when you need one out. So again, we'll have to keep our eyes on that.
All right, we'll take a timeout. We will come back and wrap it up. We'll give you the results of our poll question. Our last segment coming up here on CSN.
Hey, Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today. Go Cubs, go! Go Cubs, go!
Combining home and auto can save you big. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
Pat Hughes reporting from Wrigleyville Sports, where the excitement is building. Devin and Colin are choosing caps from the enormous wall of hats. Check out that selection. Chris and Tony are sporting new home jerseys with the blue pinstripes, blue hats, and sleeves. Get these ball players some trousers. Katrina is eyeing a new sweatshirt. She wants to be ready for the postseason. Across the street from Wrigley Field, Wrigleyville Sports is your one-stop shop for everything Cubs. Open 7 days a week or anytime at WrigleyvilleSports.com.
When my hair gets too long, I lose my edge. But when my cut's right, I'm right. I'm back to being me. My dimples activate. My cleft chin becomes cleftier. I get a twinkle on my tooth, and I speak fluent French. Garbage, chaise lounge, mayonnaise.
Au revoir. Get in, get out, back to greatness. Download the online check-in app. Great clips. It's gonna be great.
Look at it, lads. New York City. Just doesn't get any better than this.
Actually, it does. With Grubhub, you can get the best foods delivered anywhere.
Gluten-free pad thai here for Seamus.
I am Seamus.
Gluten-free?
Yeah. Can't even taste the difference. Oh, you gotta lock up that front tire.
Hello?
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Are you serious? Not khakis. What are you wearing?
For fastballs, call me. For saving time and money, call State Farm.
You sound hideous.
All right, the Chicago Cubs are headed to the World Series. Can't believe I'm saying that. That's from the heart, folks. The Chicago Cubs will take on the Cleveland Indians Tuesday night at 7:08 p.m. in Cleveland. They'll play 2 games there, day off, come home, and next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, at Wrigley Field, the World Series will actually be played right on this field.
Well, I got to tell you, Cappy, I'm really keeping my fingers crossed. I don't want to get, I don't like to get ahead of myself. I mean, most ball players don't want to get, we try to live in these moments. We talk about this all the time around here. But you realize that games 3, 4, and 5 are here, right? Because the American League won the All-Star game or something. Yeah, whatever that's all about. Can we maybe wrap this up in 4 or 5?
That'd be sweet. Let's just, whatever it takes.
On this field?
It'd be sick. Here's the results of our fan poll question.
Wow.
And who was the NLCS MVP? Now, the winners for Major League Baseball, Lester Baez, were co-winners. You voted Javi Baez. You see the results on your screen. Hey, one shout out to my man Matt Liston, who did a movie called Chasing October when he believed in the Cubs in the start of the 03 season when nobody did. He also did the Catching Hell movie that ran on ESPN, and he is as big a Cub fan as I am. He flew in from L.A. to be here to drink all this in, and I know he's as emotional about this as many others are, as I am. Hey, Matt, we're going to the World Series, buddy.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. And I know my family as well. Marcy, Ty, Tug, Trey, and Tatum, they have been cheering from home all night long tonight. They have, like I said, all of my kids have been raised Cubs fans. This is a very, very special night for them. They are thrilled to be a part of it.
Yeah, I met my wife here. My kids are diehards. My son, Brett, love you, buddy. My stepsons, Nicholas, Alexander, and Garrett, they were here tonight. A couple of them were. And it's an amazing thing. So glad that everybody could share in this and be with us for the last 2.5, 3 hours here on the air. And we'll see you in the World Series. The Chicago Cubs are the 2016 National League champions. It's been a lot of fun being with you here tonight. Have a wonderful night. Thanks to our great crew. We'll see you in the World Series.
When you visit Canals BMW, your toughest decision is which BMW will you drive home? A sporty BMW convertible? BMW sedan? BMW coupe? Or one of these BMW high-performance luxury models? And of course, everybody can get into one of these beauties. Canals BMW. Outstanding selection, competitive pricing, always a great decision.
Make sure he's in bed by 8.
Sometimes I get scared.
Scared of what, Danny?
The things I can't see.
Got a weird feeling. Almost forgot. In case anything happens.
Dad, I got this.
Attention, type 2 diabetics. According to the FDA, the drug Invokana may lead to diabetic ketoacidosis. If you or someone you love took Invokana and suffered ketoacidosis, you may be entitled to compensation. Ketoacidosis can cause kidney failure, coma, and even death. Call the law firm of Avram Blair & Associates right now for a free consultation.
Call 800-286-5089. That's 800-286-5089.
When I first learned of my cancer, you go from planning what you're going to do for the weekend to, okay, what do I do to save my life? My outlook at the moment is very hopeful, and I think a large part of that is having been connected with my mentor, Angel. She was able to provide inspiration that you'll get better and you'll continue to lead a happy, normal life, even if you're battling this disease.
Hit home ice against Calgary, looking to put up a firewall and quickly extinguish the flames. Sound the alarm and gear up for the fight with Chevy Blackhawks pregame live, starting at 7 on CSN.
For 13 seasons, I played for the Bears. But this year, I'm ready to shake up the game in a whole new way with my own show. Watch The Hard Count, presented by Restore, Thursdays at 10:30 on CSN Chicago.
Number 54 stars on CSN. All Bears, all the time.
Due to the length of the previous program, we now join the following program already in progress.